Hey, what's going on, everybody? Alex Kirjanides here with BSM Vault. Welcome to another edition of our video tip of the week series. Today is tip number 15. So last week we started a new kind of series for the month of April, which is our 4-step sales process. So last week we covered prospecting. If you didn't watch that video, watch it, please. It's a output equals input type of kind of like flow that I present and I teach. You gotta make the outbound calls. You gotta send out the text messages, right? You gotta have a lot of output to get the inflow. Reach plus engagement equals opportunities. Remember that. Write that on your wall so you can see it every day. You gotta get content out to people. You gotta reach them. You can do that organically. You can do that picking up the phone, sending out videos, running Facebook ads. That's your reach methods. And then you want to engage with them so they can engage by clicking your post, reading your blog articles, watching your videos, calling you, opting in, right? That's called engagement, which equals opportunities. Now we're going into part 2 of the 4-step sales process, which is having a strategy meeting, right? Strategy consultations, I call them, either on the phone or in person. This is very important because this is going to set up the close. There shouldn't be closing scripts and closing tactics that you have to do if you set up the strategy meeting or the strategy consultation properly. It should be a natural transition from the prospect or the consumer. Hey, what's the next step? How do I get started with you? That should be what should be happening if you do things properly. So I'm going to cover a couple of things today. All right. One of them is really a mindset shift that was taught to me years ago by a good friend of mine and mentor, Chuck Bauer. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you. I want you to see this actually right here. Give me 1 second. Here we go. So right here, again, I give all credit to Chuck Bauer on this one. It's called the CBS, Clients Believability Scale. I've used this my entire career, and I'm using this still consistently running my agency. It's a basic formula here from the red light down here, the lowest, medium yellow, highest green, right? Lowest is you're just talking to people. You're having a conversation in person. You're having a conversation on the phone. It's a prospect. You're telling them what you want to tell them. They're responding. That's the lowest ranking on the believability scale. Okay? That's where most salespeople are. That's where most real estate professionals, most mortgage professionals, most people are at that level, just so you guys know. Very few are at the middle part, the yellow, the medium, where you're actually doing a needs assessment, you're building rapport, you're having them visually see something, you're sending them to your website, you're sending them a link to have access to maybe your promo packet, you're telling them stories. You know, that's very few are in that category. That category is a great category to be in, believe it or not. It's the medium area here on the believability scale, the yellow light here. So you see the prospect or the client says, I see and I remember, right? I see and I remember. The lowest, the red, I hear and I forget. I hear and I forget. And then you go up to this area, which is the highest part of the believability scale, or the green area. And this, the prospect says, I do and I understand, right? Because what you're doing here is you're discussing. So you're doing a needs assessment. You're building rapport. You're sending them a visual promo packet, or you're sending them to your website. You're sharing stories. You know, you're gauging your communication to their personality style. Are they an introvert? Are they an extrovert? Do they like pictures? Do they like graphs? Do they want information? Right? You're getting third-party testimonials involved. You're getting them to engage the client either physically. You've sent them like a papyrus card or a Jim Rohn booklet ahead of time. They're in your office. You got your TV screen on. You got a presentation, whether it's a listing presentation or a buyer presentation, working, right? You have all these things working. And this is the level that very few people are in sales. So what I want you guys to get out of this video is to be in this category at all times. Like, take this right here, print it out, have this up on your workboard or your corkboard at work or at home if you have a home office. Make sure you see this every single day. So when you are prospecting and you have an opportunity, whether it's a strategy call or a strategy meeting, a consultation meeting with a prospect, that you are putting into place as many of these tools as possible to increase your odds and your chances of converting that client or that prospect into a client. To have that prospect say, hey, what's the next step? How do I get started with you? Right? Here's an example of a promo packet that I use. This is a simple digital version of our playbook here at BSM Vault. We send this to our clients ahead of time. Right, we have our clear process to revenue. This is our heart of our agency. We have a little funnel chart here of what we do with our funnel campaigns, what kind of traffic sources we pick, etc. Our pricing model here. This is our entry-level pricing model for our growth package. Right, so we send this to our clients ahead of time. We have this in a physical packet, and we have a digital version of it. We send people to our website, so people could go to our website. Here's a picture or like a landing page of my website. We send people here, right? We send people here to get an idea of who I am before they meet with me. We send people here to get an idea of what we do, right? What our clear process to revenue model is. We send people here if they want to get more information on our products and services, so they download one of these PDFs. We send people here to look at our blog articles and our videos, right? So we use the believability scale at the highest level, and it makes the transition of a prospect to want to do business with us very fluid. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to get out of this. Today's topic and today's series for the week that I want you to concentrate on is your strategy meetings and your strategy consultations. Let me get back on the screen here. So strategy meetings and strategy consultation is this week's theme. So set them up properly. If you have a meeting with somebody in person, send them things in advance of your meeting, right? Send them something physically in the mail, like a Jim Rohn success booklet or a papyrus card. Send them something via email, a link to your website, a link to a presentation link, whether you're using Listing Booster or a listing presentation. Bring with you a portfolio of a why you, if you're a realtor or you have a team, even if you're a mortgage professional, why should somebody work with you? What are your unique selling propositions? What are the competitive advantages you bring to the table? Right? Use video ahead of time and after your appointments. Ahead of time, hey, looking forward to our meeting here. This is what we're going to cover. After the appointment, hey, great meeting, tons of synergy. Can't wait to help you and your family. Super excited. Right? Use everything that you have at your disposal, technology and automation, to be able to increase the client's believability scale of you and your services. So the transition after the strategy meeting or the strategy call, the transition is very fluid to where the prospect says, what's the next step? That's where you know you got them. Okay? Till next time, next week's video is going to be on actually fulfillment. So you get the client on board. They want to do business with you guys. How to fulfill and how to take that part from the I'm ready to move forward to the transaction, that escrow period. How to get wow touches and make the experience exceptional for referrals. That's what we're going to touch on next week. But for this week, concentrate on strategy meetings. Review last week's video on prospecting. It'll help. And reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, anything I can do to help you guys. Okay? Till next time, take care. Over and out. Bye-bye.